Hey, what's up, Endars?
What's up? Hi, man.
How's it going, man? Good to see you
Uh,
again.
Good to see you too, man. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, so it's been a while, since we've had you on the show, but of course, as it always is in Warcraft 3, there's a lot of stuff happening. It never stands still. There's always stuff to talk about. So before we dive into the more Warcraft 3 specific topics, I just wanted to say thank you to you, Endars, and all the other Swedes for welcoming me to your country, to the motherland of Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah, you're super welcome. We're very happy to have you. Yeah, it feels nice to you being here, really adding to the Warcraft atmosphere that's growing in here this country again. So you've come to the right place, I believe.
A couple of days ago, when we were still allowed to go to the office of my new job, right now it's all home work and home office and what have you. I
Right.
even had Back to Warcraft in the office on, because I just couldn't go for lunch. So all the other colleagues, they had to watch it too.
Well, I can think of worse things to spend your lunch doing.
Yeah, I think it was Yule Cup, and it was Happy playing against. Who was he playing against? Happy against Lynn. Yes, and Happy
Oh yeah,
dominated
that
2-0.
much. Oh yeah. So I caught some of those games. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that was impressive. As always from Happy.
Happy, huh? With that high ping, crazy spikes, and he still
Yeah,
makes it look like a piece of cake.
yeah. No, he's crazy right now. I don't know. Like right now, he's been doing that forever. But it's. I mean, you could write an essay about that guy. I don't know. It's crazy what he can do, man. It's crazy.
But how have you been, Endars? What are you up to these days? How has the whole crazy virus situation been affecting you? What are you doing in Warcraft 3 at the moment? Tell us a little bit more about your life and what's going on at the moment.
Oh yeah. No, I'm trying to live my life as just stand as normal as possible, even though that's a tricky one right now. But
True,
I
true.
think that's as a person, I'm kind of trying to just keep it together and stay not overreacting or doing anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Although you can feel the world closing in on you by the hour almost. Like it's crazy how it works. I don't know. But just keeping myself informed and just trying to keep a calm head. But other than that, I don't know. I'm getting games in whenever I can. Still trying to grind, play some
Yeah.
random team on the ladder, even though it's what it is. I'm trying to just motivate myself to play a little bit so that whenever there is any way to play again, I won't at least be in complete out of shape.
Yeah, that's
I
for
kind
sure.
of like to, even though I don't play super much, I like to at least get some games in just to,
Hmm.
keep my APM up. But at the end of the day, I'm just playing random team anyway, so it's not like I'm really competing against anything, anyways. But
So are
but
you uh are you a 2v2 passionate?
oh yeah, that's my thing.
Oh
I
man,
don't.
me too. We
Yeah,
should we
that's
should
the
hook
great.
up someday, and get some Night
Yeah.
Elf Undead
Ah,
going.
oh, you're on the player.
Yeah, of course. Of
Oh,
course.
nice. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's an Priestess Mass Hunt classic with the fiend,
Oh yeah,
with the Night Elf
that's
fiend.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
The beautiful aura affecting everything.
yeah. No, I don't know. I enjoy two and two, like, but I'm also completely aware of the fact that
Hmm.
any decent one-on-one player will beat me in a two and two anyway. I mean, there's at the end of the day, it's more like if you play good one-on-one players,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
almost. But
That being said, though, I don't think every good one-on-one player automatically is good in 2v2. There's still some things,
no,
like still some things that you need to know or
yeah,
or that you need to be used to and trained to in 2v2, like
yeah,
timings
that's true.
and creep routes and that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I can like players I could never imagine taking maps off in one-on-one. I
Hmm.
can hang with in two on two. If my ally is like decent and we have like a good chemistry and stuff.
What is your favorite matchup or your favorite team combo that you like to play?
I like Elf Orc is a really nice one. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Classic.
Like if playing with a good orc is amazing. But
Hmm.
like I think a good undead, for example, if you have a good undead as an ally, that's also super nice because as a night elf player, I think night elf as a 2-on-2 race is really hard to. We can't really carry in the same way as a,
Yeah.
for example, a TC headhunter player or a good undead player or an even human player can. I mean, 2-on-2 night elf is mostly always about supporting the other race.
True.
And I think always, if you look at like good 2-on-2 teams, that's how it goes. It's just about. It's never, really about doing all the damage and really, doing that.
Do you always send some resources to your ally in random team in the beginning? Because I remember
No, not in random team. Yeah, no, that's too dangerous, man. I wouldn't do that. No, but like I played a lot with Doak.
Yeah.
And Knopf.
Yeah.
And those guys, and
ooh, nice.
That's that's really fun too because I mean, it sounds weird to just like I feed my money and I play some huntresses, but I think like if you like all the good players do that, and I mean that's the best strategy. And when it comes down to it, it's not just about feeding resources and making huntresses. There's so much more to it.
True.
It's always so funny when Starshaped and Thorstein play together. They're
Yeah.
super good in 2-on-2.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like the Warcraft always like talks about like how little Starshape actually does for the wins. But at the end of the day, I think he does a great deal of things, and I mean I would never bash a mass hunt feeding night elf. That's actually
yeah.
There's beauty in that too, and I think a lot of us 2-on-2, especially 2-on-2 night elf guys, knows about it. So
if
shout out to all of the 2-on-2 night elves massing huntresses, man. We are really keeping it together, I think.
If Starshape wasn't so good at sacrificing his huntresses, then Thorfinn couldn't shine,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So people know you as the guru, the Swedish guru, and you're very well connected in the scene. What would you say is the current mood, the current status in Sweden, towards the game? Because right now, I've recently talked to in Super Bowl on Discord, and he said that he didn't really feel motivated at the moment. Because of no ladder, because of no real ranked mode that you can take seriously, Is that affecting some of the Swedish players as well, or do you think they're all still in the mood and play a lot?
No, I mean, there is no question that the ladder and everything, the whole Reforged debacle kind of affected us. I think we would have had a much easier time getting our players to play a lot and stuff if we had more a more sustainable Reforged situation. Although I think for Swedish Warcraft we're in a good place. I noticed that 10 Swedish guys signed up for the latest ESL tournament, for example, and we got really cool stuff coming up in Sweden, like in terms of like events and just tournaments and all that stuff.
Maybe something really cool really soon. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
More,
we're working really hard to try to make something cool happen. So
yeah.
I think in that regard, there is really a lot of cool things. There's like even 2 offline tournaments announced right now that coming up in May. Although we will see how the virus affects those. But if they are scheduled, if they're ongoing as planned, there will be 2 offline tournaments in May for Warcraft where you can compete offline in Sweden. And it's just a super nice moment right now. Although that said, I think there is no denying in that our Swedish guys struggle to get games in the weeks right now. It's hard. It's really hard to hang with the likes of Death Note, Please, Nate Poe, Foggy, all those guys, East European guys especially, that really gets games in right now. And from time to time, I can't help but feel like it's kind of the Reforged train is kind of leaving the station with a lot of those guys, just like practicing a lot. And I was super excited when Mouse Sports picked up the German guys.
Yeah.
And but all that stuff, I can't help but sometimes feel like that could have been us if the circumstances would have been different.
Yeah.
Because
There
I
was
think.
for a short time there were some rumors with ninjas in pajamas, right?
Oh yeah,
Remember?
yeah, yeah. I don't think there's. I don't think I have to uh, hide anything much in that. I had a quite extensive phone call with the
Yeah.
head of Ninjas in Pyjamas
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
about possible Reforged
Hmm.
team, Swedish team, but I didn't go through. To be honest, I haven't really heard my back from them. I think they got scared with the Reforged relaunch. At least
Probably.
that's what I would like to think,
Yeah, yeah.
because uh,
That's
I don't
probably the
know.
safest thing to assume, that at the very late least, if they aren't getting involved right now, they're at least observing the whole thing, and if Blizzard is still
Yeah,
committed and what the tournaments look like and what the
yeah,
community looks like, the viewership and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's really cool, like you said, that mouse boards found their way in. But
yeah,
as of right now, without any changes or any features added from Blizzard,
yeah.
I don't think any other team is really taking the risk to get
No.
involved.
The thing is also, it's kind of like esports in 2020 in terms of like single player games, like Warcraft 3, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
or StarCraft 2 for that matter.
Hmm.
As a company, you don't really benefit from having a team these days. I mean, it all comes down to, yeah, you can have one really strong player. I mean, look at Foggy, for example. He
Yeah,
joined the
yeah.
team. Look at Todd, who also joined a team. Those
Or
teams are
Cyril
interesting.
in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, serial example. You can get, if you have one successful player, you get
Hmm.
just as much exposure as you would get
Exactly.
one team. And I think one major reason, at least in Warcraft 3, is that earlier, like one of the largest incitements to get a team back in the days was to compete in WC3L or NGL1 or NGL2. And those leagues aren't around anymore.
Yep.
Those leagues had offline finals, and even though I would argue the exposure that Back to Warcraft, for example, gives tournaments or Heroes Hearth is
Hmm.
larger than their exposure they got back in the days.
Hmm.
It's still not a viable option to recruit like 6 players or something when
Yeah.
you can just have one player that competes at all the offline events and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's true. I mean, there's still the W3IL. That's
yeah,
basically the one big Western clan league, I think.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's really
But yeah,
interesting.
that's like, yeah, it's amazing tournament, and
Yep.
I love what they're doing, and I love that Back to Warcraft has put in effort into giving it exposure. And there is more teams now than ever, and I mean this season is looking amazing. But that said, there is, as long as there isn't an offline finals or like big sponsor names and that
Yeah.
prize pool of this ridiculous money that brings in the Koreans and the Chinese and stuff like back in the days when World Elite and Meet Your Makers were competing, for example, it's never gonna be the same, I think.
However,
So
there is a little bit of light maybe soon at the tunnel. I'm clear. I'm right now actually looking through Pad's Twitter channel or Twitter profile. W3 Pad, the guy who did the W3 booster, who made Warcraft 3 Arena, the one man coding army, the one man programming army. Really,
yeah,
he announced recently that he would be considering working on a custom ladder.
yeah,
And I think he has the potential. I think he has the skills. And it's funny, actually, that he said it probably wouldn't even take him that long to come up with a first version of it. When you
no,
think that somewhere in the depths of the Silicon Valley, there's a multi-billion dollar company called Blizzard Entertainment, and they haven't been able to deliver anything so far.
yeah. I don't know if I have praised Pad on Twitter several times, but he is like, if Back to Warcraft is like the 2 guys that really carry the Warcraft scene,
Mm-hmm.
he's the 3rd one for sure.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
third
he's up
pillar.
there on the, yeah, he should be on the Mount Rushmore of like the Warcraft 3 guys. Like in the end of the day, it's him, Remo, Grubby, and then possibly Pad. I think that was
Yeah.
something like that. Moon. I know. Okay, anyway, the list could go on. Yes, but I think that's amazing. But it also raises a question that I'm not sure how to answer, and that's like, how long do guys actually think it will take Blizzard to get the ladder on going? Because I'm concerned that the moment, I mean, I would love a private ladder just like Warcraft Arena, that where I could play games and stuff. But the moment Blizzard puts out the patch and fixes the ladder, I'm afraid it's going to be obsolete.
Yeah. The thing is, like in general, where is Blizzard at the moment? You know, what are they doing? I mean, sure, the current situation is probably affecting them too. You know, with the corona and everything is slowed down. But even before that, I've been looking at their Twitter profile in the of the official Warcraft 3 Reforged Twitter page, and the last post was in February 24th, and that was the last patch that they announced. So it's almost a full month that they haven't given us any updates. I know from a trustworthy source that some of the dev team are not reacting to inquiries or responding very, very vaguely, if at all. So it seems to be very weird. It seems to be very slow. And I think that could mean maybe three things, you know. Number one, Blizzard, that was it. They're just going to keep the game as it is, and they're not going to commit to it anymore. I think that would be quite the shameful move, though, but it's still possible in my opinion, sadly. Number two, they're working with a small team, and the next patch will be a small patch too, because they simply don't have any more resources. Or maybe they're working on a patch and it will be a bigger one, you know, quite the good one, where they say, boom, here's the ladder, and nobody actually had it on the radar anymore. What is your take? Do you maybe have a completely different idea of what's going to happen, or are you still in? You mentioned back to Warcraft, and I've been watching them a lot actually lately, as always. And Neil, for example, he's kind of given up. You know, he's very and I can't blame him. Once again, I want to make that sure I can't blame him. But and Remo is a little bit more optimistic still. You know, he says give him some time. You know, what is your take on it, Endars?
Yeah. I'm trying to like in the wake of Reforged, everybody's suddenly a game critic and like has an insight into the gaming industry, and I'm not that guy. I don't want to pretend I am, but that being said, I think I thought like everybody else, I've thought circles around this Reforged thing and what happened and everything, and what's gonna happen, and I'm still sticking to what I said last time I was here. I'm not sure if that was before the Reforged release, was it, or was it after?
Say again, sorry.
When was I on the first time I was on the podcast? Was that before or after Reforged?
I'm pretty sure it was before Reforged.
Yeah, I think so too, because I remember I said like, Blizzard is dedicating themselves 3 coming years with the ESL Pro Tour.
Yeah.
They're putting money into this. At the end of the day, I think that's the only move that's viable for them to go with, like to stick with the game and ride this one out and try to make this right. So
it's actually a good point that speaks against the abandon theory that I had, because of 3 years of esports, and it's not really doable if they just don't deliver any patches anymore. It's a good point.
No, I think what they will do is that I think they want to make Warcraft 3 decently stable, and then try to move on.
They have to, man. You can't even play in Reforged graphics when
they have to do it.
Desyncs.
Yeah, no, they have to get Warcraft to a somewhat suitable position, and then just leave it be like they did before. Like maybe do the 3-year thing here, but just and then write it out and let it be a little one of those classic titles that just exist in a sub community somewhere. And to be honest, I don't know. I wouldn't mind that. I didn't mind it during the Warcraft 3 Arena days, and I wouldn't mind it now either. I mean, it's not really Blizzard that was Warcraft 3. Like Neo tweeted this, and I really agree with it. It's not Blizzard that's Warcraft. It's the community that's Warcraft, and I agree with that full-heartedly. I think that's true. I think just let us have our thing going here. I don't mind just being a small little community. Of course, everybody's imaginations were tickled when everybody was expecting great things out of the Reforged, and it didn't come to fruition. But I think Blizzard is going to do the right thing here. They're going to try to stabilize it and then move on to other bigger things.
Could be nice, you know, if they manage to make the game more stable, like you said, and deliver some of the promises that are still required for them to do, like a ladder and profiles and clans. I think that is the least they can do, really. I mean, the community has already said, okay, we don't even want the fancy cinematics for the campaign anymore. We don't even want this and that. But the least they can do is bring the multiplayer in a playable condition, which right now it is not. We still have random pings. We still have random servers, desyncs. And I think once they fix that, they can just be like, hands off. We're going to give it to you guys. We're going to give it to the community.
Yeah, I think exactly. I think give it to the community. That's what they have to do, and that's fine. I don't know. I think, and also like honestly, like ESL Pro Tour is nice right now. It's a really cool tournament, but yeah, we could probably talk about if the coronavirus is going to affect that one as well. But at the end of the day, I'm not a greedy person in terms of like events. I could get by. I was super excited when there was just like 1 or 2 events a year. That's like how it was back in the days with World Cyber Games and ESWC. So, you know, I don't mind that. But I think to get back to your original question regarding PAD's private server, which I think is an amazing idea and I would love it. I'm not ready to say that Blizzard is going to wait that long to fix the Warcraft 3 ladder and Battle.net for it to actually have, like, if he want to develop that and get that going, I think that's like expecting the ladder to be off for at least a year or something more. And I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is also, there's already an MMR system, even though it's hidden somewhat and you can only access it if you're typing it in game. But why would there be something like that in the game already when their plan is to never really bring anything in anyways? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Look, this is completely different. Like this, we could go on for this forever. But I think I was thinking about Blizzard and what they did with Reforged, and I was thinking that, like, with any company that puts out a product, like with any good product, any good company, and all the successful companies, I think, I'm not a businessman, but I think the general idea is that a good company is a company that knows what the customer wants even before the customer knows it itself.
That's a tough thing for Blizzard to predict at the moment, to know what the customer wants.
But the thing is, this is what they used to be. This is what they knew we wanted Diablo 2 even before we wanted it, or a strategy game with the orcs and night elves and stuff. And that's what's made them popular. They knew what kind of, you know, because I think they were gamers themselves. I don't know. They were just doing games they wanted to play them by themselves. And that's what made them such a good company.
Yeah,
I think. And with Reforged, the thing that's so annoying is that it's not that hard to know what the customer wants. I think the communities was very vocal with what we wanted. And I think all the guys were like who were involved in the development, like all the community guys, like Grubby and Back to Warcraft and stuff, gave pretty clear pinpoints to what we wanted.
And that's the thing. They were given so much feedback, right? They were given so much feedback. But hey, we don't want to make this another. We don't want to make this another Reforged rant podcast. You know, everything has been said and done towards this topic.
I agree.
But yeah, hey, what you gonna do? There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some tournaments that happened lately. I'm not sure how much you were able to follow, especially, of course, since we're on the Heroes Hearth Warcraft 3 channel. There was some cool stuff happening over the last couple of weeks. First off, the Heroes Hearth Invitational, the first ever tournament that we have run with the help of Heroes Hearth and Back to Warcraft, by the way, who were very kind, and Grubby as well, who were all very kind in helping us with the cast. Were you able to follow that at all, or was that something you couldn't fit into your schedule?
No, I saw some games. Yeah,
nice.
For sure. No, I'm up to speed. I'm I'm spending way too much time in front of Twitch than I should should admit to.
Wait, I haven't actually checked. I mean, you probably know this by immediately. Are the gyms in Sweden still open?
One of them are closed. The other ones are
okay.
Open, as far as I know.
Because I've seen some people on Twitter, saying, "I want to go to the gym, but it's closed. I can't move. I can't do anything." So
one of the gym brands have closed all their gyms, and the other gym brands have sporadically closed some of them, in different places. But that's what I know about it.
Yeah. So, anyways, Side, he did play really well at the Heroes Hearth Invitational. He was probably the standout player. He had this very innovative style with a Dreadlord, and he plays it. He plays it against every race, man. He plays it against human. He plays it even against orc with ghouls. We saw him do some dirty things.
Yeah. I think the standout match for Side was the 3-0 versus Hawk.
Yeah.
Yes. Was what he did there was super impressive.
Nasty.
And everybody in the Swedish community were talking about his games versus Hawk. We were joking with Mad Frog about Side plays, he plays the Mad Frog style, but at this point
I saw some comments in the chat there as well saying that Mad Frog plays the same style. Do you agree it's the same, or is it a little bit different?
I mean, obviously, I think there's always tweaks and things, but I think the general idea is the same. It's the type of Dreadlord harassment with the Carrion Swarm, and that's the gist of it. And I think
did Mad Frog say anything to you?
No, not particularly. I think he was just impressed with Side, but he knows Side plays a lot and is really talented guy. So with that said, I mean, Side played it perfect, and it's a really it's always fun, I think. And this is actually something that's really fun right now. It's like you can play different strategies. It's just not Death Knight anymore and stuff. So I think if you just get the ladder, every Warcraft is going to be a really exciting game. I mean, it is. I mean, if you play the games, it's amazing. And the way Side plays this is also amazing. Just like you said, he plays it versus every race, and he has great success with it. So that's amazing. But
especially for Undead, whose build orders and strategy oftentimes looked like they were carved in stone, and you always had to go Death Knight Fiends.
Yeah.
Now no longer. You can switch in some ghouls or some Dreadlords, and I love what the caster said as well during those games or after those games. Can you imagine if Happy had this style in his repertoire as well? So he no longer is predictable as this one player who admittedly plays this style perfectly, but if he also had some other strategies in, so he would become even scarier and even less predictable.
Yeah, for sure. I really hope Side. I mean, there are a couple of undeads who tries to utilize the Dreadlord, and more, I think. And it's really nice to change it up. And like I said, I was just super impressed with the games he played versus Hawk. That's those games.
That was crazy. I didn't expect Side to get this far. No disrespect, buddy. But I wanted you to win the whole thing actually after you beat Hawk, but it was not meant to be. Foggy and Cash too strong. It was a great final there too. And then we had, of course, the other big project that Heroes Hearth is still doing, and it felt really good to be back on Fight Night with Grubby. A couple of days ago, it felt really nice, and we had one of the sickest matchups there, really of all time, and that was Nepo versus Hitman, Neutron versus Hitman. And I don't want to say the final score, just in case some of you still need to watch the VOD on YouTube. You can find it here, but it was going full distance. Full distance, man.
Yeah, no, I saw the games actually.
Oh, live? You stayed up all that time, or did you catch
the
VOD?
I watched the video.
Okay. Did you also see the interview after?
Parts of it. He's the winner was cocky as always. I mean, he was both of those guys have really nice personalities. So they are really, in your face, so to speak.
I'm not 100% sure if Neutron was actually sober during that game, or if he had already had some beers at the casino.
He's at the casino right now. That's good.
Yeah, he's in the US currently. He was playing
He's a
from NA, which was
yeah,
actually
yeah,
quite convenient because that made sure that both players had same requirements or same circumstances to play with.
yeah.
So
That's perfect.
yeah, and he played from a LAN cafe. Can you believe it? This mad
Wow.
person. And then
Yeah, he's
he went to the
he
casino after drinking and partying. So I just told
yeah,
him don't spend all the money. We're only gonna transfer it next month. So be
yeah.
careful.
No, he's really becoming a standout personality in the scene. I mean, what he did, whatever he was doing at the Anaheim event, really, people, whether you like it or not, you will remember him from what he was doing at that event in the studio. So yeah, he's standing out right now, and he's an old school player too. So it's
Oh,
really
very
cool
old
to have
school.
him.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
he's also the nemesis. Right? He's kind of the bane of our because he has been ruining quite a few of our days, so quite a lot of our days right now,
mhm.
taking maps and games out of our players, and it's hard to to keep up with a guy like that.
Mhm.
Talented guy, motivated guy, plays a lot. Yeah, he's really hard to hang with for a lot of players, and that's really starting to show, right? I mean, I'd argue he's one of the best Knight of Mirror players in Europe right now, and
I
he
don't
could
think
he
there's a better Night of Play in Europe except Froggy.
yeah, I mean, especially in the Knight of Mirror matchup,
Yeah,
I'd like to
yeah.
because I talked to Starshaped about this as well, and
Mhm.
his Starshaped just confirmed that the really tricky to play
Mm.
NATO in the neutron in Mirror.
You never know what you're gonna get when you face that guy.
No,
Speaking of which, I guess we can spoiler it already a little bit, but I want Thorzane. I want Thorzane as the next opponent, and you need to tell me, Endars, is he currently accepting any invites? I haven't texted him yet. I'm gonna do that next week. Well, what do you think are my chances of convincing him this time? Because he ditched us the first time, saying that he was too busy.
yeah. He's busy right now too. Remember, he's a
Oh,
doctor,
oh shoot, that's right.
and the situation for doctors right
Ah,
now are they are
hmm.
quite dire, so to speak.
The
There's
heroes,
quite
they
a
they
lot.
are literally the heroes
Yeah.
of our society right now. Yeah.
So he's locked onto the infectious
Mm,
department. I don't know the English word. The people that treat infectious diseases
the
at the hospital.
quarantine
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
he's doing a lot of that stuff. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
he
Yeah, that's
was
actually that's actually a really good point. Yeah.
yeah. To your advantage, though, I know he was trying to get the UU client, the ping accelerator,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
going for to play net because he wanted to practice on NetEase
Uh huh.
yesterday. So that might speak to your advantage.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so he's trying to get his game get the games in, so to speak. He's always going to be a key for us. We have like this month actually there is the start of the third season of W3IL.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we play Raptor in the first match, like on the 29th,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, Thorzane is going to be a key player for any success we have in this league this
Mm.
season as well. So, and he knows that he's important to us, and he's going to try to get the games in. But I mean, look, I'm never going to tell you not to try. That's not the thing. But he has been busy,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like everybody in the Swedish team has been busy with a lot of stuff lately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's tricky. It's hard. I mean, especially it's hard to get games in when you're not the full time or if you have work and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. It's
Very
I
true.
wish
That's
there was
the
some.
both the blessing and the curse of every professional Warcraft 3 player, except a few selected ones. Obviously, the super S tier players, they're all full time and fully
Yeah,
committed to it. But
yeah. And
for
the thing is, like, there is more players now going full time, which
yeah,
is great. Like
hmm,
a lot of the Eastern European guys are
yeah,
the way I haven't spoken to them, but the way I look to understand it is that a lot of players are really playing a lot more and prioritizing that. And that means also that the gap in Europe becomes larger because the other guys who never really could play that much, you can't keep up with this group of guys that just goes all in on this game, which is great.
Are
But
there
it
any
creates.
players that you can name that are currently trying to go full time or that have gone full time? Because
Haven't like the way I see it, like when I look at Death Note or Please or
yeah,
Blade or all those guys who just play so much, I just assume they are full
yeah, yeah.
time. I don't know
No,
what
that's
could they
fair.
do.
That's fair.
What could they do? I mean, except for just playing.
And so many more, like so many people at the moment are streaming too, which makes it
Yeah.
super cool. Like I remember yesterday, I started off watching Warcraft 3 on Side's channel. Then Side hosted Lil DC, and
Oh
then
yeah.
I was already, I was always like passed along, so I never changed the window. So I was always like thrown to the other streamer. Then Lil DC, he hosted Taker, and then Taker played a little bit more and came back later with another cast. So it's really cool to see how invested a lot of people get, even if they don't go full time, but they're just starting their stream game, and then just start to get the hustle going this way.
Yeah. It's really nice. I think. There are quite a few guys who really put the effort in right now, and that's super fun and exciting. I was actually gonna give Krab, the French guy. I probably butchered his nickname, Crab.
Yeah.
You know of him? And French undead. The way I understood it, he was a really talented.
So you mean Krav, Krav?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little bit of a shout out to him right now, because I think the way I understood it, he was really motivated to play a lot. And really, go all in on Warcraft 3. I haven't really had any confirmation on this, but that's just something I heard, and I was excited when I heard it, because I'm always excited if like new guys or like talented new young guys try to get good at the game. I'm keeping my eyes out on for all of those guys. So
yeah, Krav, I know him. He's like a regular customer on Grubby stream. They oftentimes played against each other, and it almost always resulted in an epic game. So
yeah, I think he's super talented, and I'm in general just super excited about France as a Warcraft 3 country. I mean, I think they have like 3 or 4 teams signed up for the W3IL right now, and the community there seems to be just growing by the hour almost, and they have like really big personalities like Todd and Side.
Yeah, I was gonna say Todd holding the standard, the French flag and leading them to battle.
Yeah. I mean, France seems to
shouting,
be really,
that's his battle cry.
Yeah. I hope there's like more French guys just go trying hard and keep fighting, because I think they have a really cool community, and like Ugrilainen, also one of those Hall of Fame guys in the Warcraft 3 scene. Also French guy hosting that, having that meltdown bar in his hometown.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have minded a ESL Pro Tour stop in France, for example.
Yeah, there's a DreamHack. There's a DreamHack stop in Tours, I think.
Yeah. I've been there actually and worked at that DreamHack.
Me too. At some point. Which year was it? Do you remember? Because for me it was 2017 when I went there for Heroes of a Storm, and we casted one of the open tournaments there.
Might have been 2017 or 2016.
Holy shit! Can you imagine if we crossed paths and walked past each other and didn't know who the fuck the other person was?
Yeah, maybe. I casted StarCraft in Swedish for Swedish national television.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, so we were there. I remember. Anyway, but I mean, and I think France, like having an event in Paris or whatever, that would be amazing. Like France seems to be really, loving Warcraft, and they have a rich history as well. Well, especially with Todd, for example. And
still today, up to this day, one of my favorite Night Elf players, Intox. Never forget, man. Never forget.
France has had a lot of good elves. Actually, like semi-good elves, like HG was another one who was good back in the days. Another we could name drop.
Dude, I just looked them up, man. Dude, they had Bloody.
Yeah.
Who was freaking legend. I remembered watching
Arma team, right? It was on Arma
team, yes. Yeah. He was undead, man. I watched almost every replay from Bloody and Lucifer. Those were my two.
Do you remember Fat C or Fatic? Fat C?
Yeah, of course, Fat C. Yes.
Yeah. He was. I think he was an SK. or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it too.
Some really cool people, man.
Yeah, yeah, France. But like I said, I hope France keeps. I mean, if France just could like bring like their absolute peak players into one team,
Hmm.
that team could be like really strong. Like Todd, Side, Krav. Like I'm sure there's other guys I'm forgetting, but like I think they could have a really solid lineup. Just like Poland could have a really solid lineup if they stopped fighting. because, because Poland seems to really, I don't know, there seems to be some sort of internal arguments in like in that team
Yeah,
or like in that country.
shout outs to all the Russians, by the way. I have only warm feelings towards our dear Russian comrades. I was actually carried in one of my Dota 2 games today so hard by a lovely Russian teammate. So shout outs to you guys.
I
Don't
assume
care what other
you're
people say. You're all
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, you're referring to the terror, the player terror.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's just.
Don't-
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to focus on that guy because
no, no,
he's
no,
just
no.
a,
It was just
he's just a downer. I think
one of the
that's
most stupid things I've ever heard and I've ever seen, and
yeah.
I mean,
No, I don't. Yeah, he's just I don't know. He seems like a guy you don't really want to spend energy on. But I think like that. I followed the guy. I think Gaskan is his name or something. He's running the Warcraft Reforged League
hmm
in Poland.
hmm
And they seem to have a really nice community. I was actually browsing through some photos that he put up on his Twitter today, and they have like offline events and stuff. And they seem to have a really tight knit community in Poland. And it's really like there are a couple of those guys. Like I think it's Gaskan or something in Poland, and there is like Shorty in Bulgaria who does so much. I think Bulgaria has like 40 or 50 sign up players for their like internal like Bulgarian tournaments and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's some cool things going on in Europe right now with a lot of like different, how do you say it? There's guys those different communities that really put a lot of work in, and I think that's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Man, Europe, I think it's safe to say that Europe has rarely been more active in Warcraft 3.
Yeah,
No matter which country, Germany as well, so many cool, strong, interesting players there at the moment.
yeah,
With the mouse sports guys, X
yeah.
Lord.
EBS, they have like there's the return of their internal
Oh, the
back in
Meister
days.
yes.
Yeah, it was called EBS back in days, I
Yep.
think, when Mio, SK Mio was winning time.
Dude, did you know that I was in the same team as Mio back in the day? I was his Orga. I was his
Really?
I was the Orga of the team. Not even kidding.
In Warcraft 3.
In Warcraft 3. That was
That's cool.
back in the OG time. I was not a player. I stepped into it as an organizer. I think we called them back in the days. Nobody calls them Orgas anymore. You remember? It's but I was the one there was a night of player called Weekend as well in the team. And then Mio became so good that he switched teams, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he was. No, I remember like, and there was also they had strong human players back in the days.
mm-hmm.
Cake was good, Spell was good, Mio was good. There was a lot of good human players back in Germany back in the days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like
Take, by the way, the guy who now owns Take TV. It's the same.
Yeah, but
same
he was
Take.
strong. He was
Yep.
a strong player too.
Mhm.
But I think like Germany has their own EPS Mastershaft going, and then France has theirs, and now also Spain has their with Luciferon being invited. I think. So yeah, that's they are really it's really cool. And without saying too much, I'm really excited about what could happen in Sweden in terms of like that stuff. That stuff.
Ooh.
I've heard stuff.
You're not allowed to share more.
No. I'm not sure if I'm not sure about anything anymore. But like, it's. I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to have something going in Sweden as well. I think
the Nordics, yeah.
I think we could deserve that, and.
I know we had some good Finnish players like Satini, obviously. He was
Elfitaya was good too.
Yeah. But what about
Conrad
the
was good.
Norways and the Denmarks? Did they have any
Norway,
Bjarke?
yeah, Bjarke, he was good. But like Norway, obviously with Krylofus, like he was the strongest one.
True.
And then before him, there was SK Dominator and Orc.
Mm-hmm.
He was strong too. I don't know if you want to count Targa as one of them. Gamlason was another one of those German guys. Norwegian guys.
Mm-hmm.
never really that strong in terms like if that he could like compare to Creo or anything about it.
Yeah.
But and I think Denmark had like like you said, Bjarke, and there was an orc, Rolle de Mo. Remember him, Rolle? He was good too.
Yeah, dude, it's just I haven't heard these names in 10, 15 years, so
Yeah,
my brain has to reconnect these wires, you know.
it's crazy, like how that from back in the days that you remember. It's
Yeah.
like it's really like it's cool. But
Back in the days, I was just a kid, man. I was just like a young
Yeah.
teenage
you
boy.
you should. Kiara was also decent in from then, and Myra, he was the talent that never became pro. He was like always known for being on these talent squads that never really get it clear. But
so sick, man.
yeah, this is really going down the memory lane. I think a lot of people talking about some old school guys. They helped to build the scene back in the days.
So we now leave memory lane and go back into the present.
Yeah, that's where we belong.
That's where we belong. Although sometimes we don't want to be there. You know, if I could go back in there and relive it all with the knowledge that we now had, that would be so sick.
Yeah.
But back to Warcraft, they're only using classic graphics now, and they're expecting other streamers and casters to do the same, because apparently we now have figured out that the Reforged graphics are causing the desyncs.
Yeah.
They had a very fitting, or Neo had a very fitting hashtag on Twitter, back to classic.
Oh, yeah. No, but that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing we discovered issue. And I think, this is like, without bashing Blizzard again, because we already done that, I'm going to say it's a good thing that we found something that works and makes it viable. And I think a lot of, like, what I read is that a lot of people still like the old graphics. And me, myself, I actually keep playing on the old graphics as well. But, I mean...
I tried the new graphics for as long as possible until a lag spike because of FPS stuttering caused me to lose a DK, and I was so pissed, and I switched.
Yeah. Now, I think the news, look, without like talking about the new graphics, I actually don't mind looking at them when I'm observing games or like watching back to Warcraft and stuff. I think it makes for great entertainment, and it feels. I'm not hating on the.
You know what?
New
from a casting point of view, when I cast or record videos for Heroes Hearth, I actually prefer the new graphics.
Yeah,
because
great.
Could you not? I don't understand the hate that a lot of people have towards the graphics, because when I look at them in front of my monitor, they look freaking fantastic, and I actually like them, and I feel like my eyes got used to them relatively quickly. Yeah. It's just that if it weren't for the FPS issues and the other problems that come with it, but I agree with you. From a playing point of view, of course, it's a totally different story, man, with hitboxes and split seconds oftentimes being decisive. I totally understand that players don't want to do it.
Yeah. I took part in 2 offline events this last month in Sweden, where we did a lot of cool things, and we broadcasted a lot of games from that. And I felt proud about the new graphics, to be honest. I felt like this is really something that can get the attention of new players and stuff, and guys who haven't really put a lot of interest into Warcraft. So I was really happy to be able to show the new graphics. I felt proud about that. I felt nice. But like that being said, I'm not. I'm trying. I've played maybe 3 or 4 games with the new graphics, but I still going back to when I play myself. I go back to the old graphics.
No, 100%.
But I think it's better. I wish so much we could have known this back in the days, like back in Anaheim, because would have.
Poor Thorazane, man. He would have not been robbed his victory against Moon. Could have been so sick. Did you see, by the way, now speaking once again about the Reforged and everything, did you play Command & Conquer back in the days?
I played yes, I did.
Both. Did you see the trailer for Command & Conquer remaster?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a slam dunk. I think it was like hole-in-one, but this was also like, I'm not sure if they deliberately wanted to just poke holes at
100%, man.
Blizzard
100%. They were given a gap
because
towards Blizzard.
they were all they were punching it
Community
down.
involved since day one. 24 hours. Developers available.
Yeah. No, I mean it's just they completely walked right over Blizzard in this one.
Dude, I was so hyped when I saw that trailer and I heard the music, the guitars and everything just kick in. I actually ordered the collector's edition.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah,
My
no,
wallet wasn't happy about it, but I just I had to.
I enjoyed the game, but this was like, this was something me and my brother and my father actually used to play way back when, and it's a great game, but I still can't see myself going anywhere from Warcraft 3.
No. That's definitely like same for me. To me, no matter how many Command and Conquers or Age of Empires they're gonna remaster, which Age of Empires 2, by the way, also seems to be a really good remaster. It seems like every game got their nice remaster except us. But yeah, Warcraft 3 is still that game that is, to me personally, is just perfection with a hero. When you play other RTS, at some point you're always like, where's my hero?
Yeah. No, I was like, this is. I made this joke to my girlfriend, and she wasn't really happy with it. But
does she play too? Does she play Warcraft 3?
I'm trying to get her to play a little bit of Warcraft 3. And she's kind of forced to watch games every now and then.
What do? You tie her to a chair and force her to watch?
I'm just sneaking it up on the screen, and she has to deal with it. I'm just gonna watch this one match. Just one match, okay? It's gonna be real quick. It's side playing. He's gonna Dreadlord rush this guy. She knows some of the players now.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is that I said to her, like, regarding always coming back to Warcraft 3. I joked and I said, like, I think this is what it must feel to be like in an abusive relationship, because it doesn't matter like what Blizzard do, I'm still coming back to their game.
Yeah.
Like, and
it's
I think
true though. It's true.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm too invested in this game to leave it. Even they could do, I don't know what Blizzard could do. They could murder puppies like on stage at BlizzCon, and I would still play Warcraft 3.
The Stockholm syndrome. How fitting.
Yeah, I'm keep being kept hostage by this.
And you like it. Games. You start to sympathize with them.
Yeah, I can't leave. But like on a serious note, I think that's coming back to what Neo said. It's not Blizzard that's Warcraft. It's a community that's Warcraft, and that's the truth.
Yes.
It's not really, for me, it's not really about Warcraft 3. It's about being able to like watch the players and looking at the streams and knowing what's the history behind it and everything.
Yeah, just like, checking in on side stream or someone else's stream, and just say hello, and check them out, and then you hook up with other people in the chat that you know from Grubby stream or from Back to Warcraft stream, and you recognize these names, and that is the blessing. I always say that's the blessing of a quote unquote smaller esports scene, where you just start to bond and remember people. Yeah, it's just a very intimate relationship, I think, that the community is built within themselves.
Yeah. So I think that's why I'm hooked. I think that's why. So
very
but
cool.
Yeah, it's
Endars, anything coming up in the near future that you want to share? Anything exciting, or are you just waiting for more Warcraft 3 to show up on your screen?
I mean, for us, if I want to say something, it's about like Team Sweden. We got this, like I said, W3IL coming up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the teams that are playing right now are ridiculous. I mean, UMAD and Oceanus have crazy freaking lineups. We would have loved to have seen Mousesports in there, but we won't. But still, there's crazy teams like...
they didn't have enough players, I guess.
Yeah, Cascade is also crazy. Shout out also to Cooper, one of the most underestimated orcs in Europe. And
shout out to Raptor Gaming with Remo.
Right, shout out to Raptor too. We're gonna face them in the opening match for us at the
nice.
29th.
Be gentle.
Yeah. No, I'm always gonna be Edo Boy fan. I still remember fondly Edo Boy's cast together with Masa. One of the most soothing caster voices I've ever heard. Like those caster, when those games that they could, you could fall asleep listening to that
ASMR
stream.
cast.
Yeah, but those were really nice. But Raptor is cool. It's cool. They also have a history of playing with, like, there's a little bit of history here because Lil DC and Forstein and Knopf used to play in Raptor back in the days. So it's nice to have that match, internal as well, like internal match. But other than that, I think I mean it's hard to predict or like say what's going to happen in the future. Wasn't for the coronavirus, I'd be hyping DreamHack Summer all the way.
They've recently posted something that they're still discussing the plans that they have for summer, but man, that would be a bummer, especially now that I moved to Sweden and I'm so close to DreamHack Summer. I just need to imagine I can't go. I would be so sad because that was definitely on my list. Even if I didn't work there or if I didn't have anything to do, I would just go there as a fan.
Yeah, no, at least Dream. I haven't been since 2017, I didn't think I would have a reason to go anyways. Yeah. Really, I thought when I remember very clearly, I said like, okay, because I grew up with DreamHack basically. I was at every DreamHack from when I was like 14 years old until 24/17. So that's like more than a decade of just going to every DreamHack all the time. Like that's where I grew up almost. Yeah. And I remember like 2017, I said, okay, this chapter of my life is done now. Goodbye, Elmia. Goodbye, Jönköping. Goodbye, DreamHack. Thank you for this. But I'm super excited I'm going to have a reason to go back there. Even if it's not to this year, it might be next year, hopefully. So I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to focus a lot on Swedish Warcraft right now. I'm finding myself focusing on that. I think there's a lot of potential for Swedish Warcraft, and I want to do something with that. I think that's my place right now in the community. Yep. I'm enjoying that. There's a lot of cool guys in the Warcraft 3 scene in Sweden. There are a lot of guys who necessarily hasn't been involved with Warcraft 3, but starting to get their eyes open to this game, and so I'm having cool conversations with a lot of different people in Sweden about Warcraft, and I think this is also fun because it seems like a lot more Swedish guys are playing again, or like starting to play. They haven't necessarily played either. Like today, there was 10 guys, and maybe I said that it was 10 people playing the ESL tournament today from Sweden, and people are like Swedish guys are popping up on NetEase and stuff who I don't even know about. So I think I'm super excited about that. I think if we can do this right, I think that's where I want to do something. If I can do this right, I can get people together, like get a sense of community in Sweden and like involve guys. I think in the upcoming years, if we can take care of these talents or like nurture them or like get them to get more involved and feeling that they're part of something bigger than themselves, I think we have a good and healthy situation because we need it. I think Sweden needs it. We have been riding on the back of Thorstein for so long now. We need to step it up, and the next generation has to take.
Very nice. Well said, Endars, the ambassador, the Warcraft 3 ambassador. I love it. But yeah, I think we've reached almost the 1 hour mark, and it's gone like no time really when you're enjoying yourself. Well, when you have fun, then time flies. So I would like to say thank you so much, Endars, for coming on the show for a second time, and very certainly not the last time. I can guarantee you that if you're down for it.
Oh, I'm down for it. I love this so much. I enjoy it so much. Cool. It's always so much fun to just talk Warcraft 3, and I find myself, just like you said, you can talk about it for hours. It's crazy how time flies when you just have something passionate to talk about. It's crazy. I wish I could have this type of conversation with everybody.
But then real life kicks in, and you have to talk about, or you have to think about where to get the last roll of toilet paper, because that's basically what there is to do in real life right now.
Have you been prepping? Are you a prepper?
Dude, I have. Okay, so I have one roll in use right now, and then I have How much is it? 8 more in the
Oh,
banks.
I think you're fine then.
I think I'm fine for a one-man household. I think I'm prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, feel free to subscribe to whatever service you're using to listen or watch this. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to it on iTunes or the Spotify's, then of course follow us there. It's always appreciated. And yeah, just check out Endars. You can find him on Twitter. On the screen right now, it's Endars with a double S at the end. And keep following Warcraft 3, man. Let us know with some feedback and input if there's anything specific you want to hear us talk about, any topics, if you want to address something. Let us know. It's always a pleasure to talk to the community as well. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of Fast Expand.